What did... Where am I at? Where am I at? Wait. There I am. Okay, here. What it do, bitch ass? Wait. That's not even the right intro either because I'm in the flight video. Too far gone. I'm only 20 seconds in the video, man. Okay, we got... yo, what's going... Yo, what's going on, guys? Now I just feel off. Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, got a video by Jimmy High Roller, titled NBA Myths We All Thought Were True. This is going to be pretty interesting. Let's get it.
In 1985, a rookie Michael Jordan entered the NBA Slam Dunk Contest.
Okay.
At the time, he was only a few months into his NBA career, but MJ already had millions of fans in the palm of his hand. Michael was the future.
Like Anthony
Everyone
Edwards.
knew it. And to pay homage to his childhood idol Julius Erving, Michael pulled off a dunk that would inevitably become his trademark. A dunk from the free throw line. And on his very first attempt, Michael pulled it off.
Did Julius Erving do that first?
Gravity-defying dunk. Fans were amazed, judges were impressed, and Michael Jordan came in second. And he took that personally. So 2 years later in 1987,
So he decided to be the GOAT.
Michael Jordan made his return to the dunk contest, and this time, he put it all
Yo,
on
who
the
was in
table.
that? Who was in that? Oh, man, I want to see who's in that. Wait. Tom Chambers. No, that dude got like a mullet or something, I think. Johnny Dawkins. Liked him in Pirates of the Caribbean. Cloud Drexler. Okay, Ron Harper. Michael Jackson. Jerome Kersey. Sound like a 2K. Yeah, I used him in 2K before. Gerald Wilkins and Terrence Starberry. Like the shoes.
Put it all on the table. With one of the greatest dunk contest performances in NBA history, MJ went home as the NBA dunk contest champion. But
Fair enough.
not before pulling off arguably the most iconic dunk in basketball history.
Could have swore Dr. J done
Another
it
free
first.
throw line dunk. But this wasn't like any that came before it.
Okay.
To this day, when most players do free throw line dunks, they
Step
really
in.
have to reach and strain themselves to get the ball to the hoop. But what MJ did in '87 was graceful. It was effortless. It looked like the man was literally floating. When fans saw this dunk, they no longer thought MJ was some sort of basketball sorcerer who figured out how to levitate in midair. They were certain of it.
Yeah, we could have
MJ's
played
hang
Spider-Man.
time was and still is
Peter Parker.
like nothing else we've ever seen. The man's ability to just hang in the air was almost too good to be true. And that's because it wasn't true. Not the jumping part, but the hanging part. Because contrary to popular belief,
It's almost
it
like he
is-
used gravity, like he bent gravity to his will almost. Like he almost like the basketball was like that. He almost pulled himself up with the basketball.
impossible for an athlete to hang in midair, even for a fraction of a second. The concept of an athlete's hang time is a myth. Back in 2007, a show called Sports Science.
Oh, I used to
hired
love
a
this.
former
Oh, I
NBA
love the
player,
show.
Jordan
Loved
Farmar,
it.
to test the theory of hang time.
Oh, I love that
At the
show.
time, Jordan had a vertical leap of 42 inches, and they put this vertical to the test by attaching trackers to his body and pressure-sensitive insoles into his shoes to measure his jumps.
Okay.
What they found was that no matter where he jumped from, no matter how high he jumped, and no matter how he maneuvered his body in the air, his ascent was always exactly the same amount of time as his descent, with no pause or stall or hang time in between. When you see a player who seems to be
So was it
hanging in the air,
photoshopped?
what you're really seeing is actually a bit of an illusion.
While mid-flight body contortions cannot affect their overall
Woo!
flight,
Yeah, I can't do it.
when elite players like Michael
I
Jordan
also can't
begin
dunk.
their descent, their body stretches, which keeps their head moving horizontally for an extra split second.
So it's almost like a head bobble.
Creates the optical illusion of prolonged hang time.
Now, I cannot begin to tell you how devastated I was when I watched this episode of Sports Science as a kid. This is unbelievable. Next thing you know, someone's gonna tell me Michael Jordan didn't actually stretch out his arm 25 feet to score a last-second bucket to defeat the Monstars.
Mr.
But
Fantastic.
you can't
No, that's
ignore the
Andrew
facts.
Wiggins. My apologies.
So, as great as this dunk was, it wasn't great enough to defy the laws of physics, and the concept of hang time was all just a myth. Just like many other narratives and concepts within the NBA that
Yeah, like the Pistons are a dirty basketball team. No, we just play tough. I mean, you look at how many Celtics and Bulls and players that have took swings at Bill Laimbeer, man. You know what I'm saying?
we've been led to believe for years.
Oh, that was just the
Today's
intro.
video is sponsored
Keeps.
by Keeps. Keeps is a subscription-based service that focuses
Okay. Keeps. I'm gonna keeps it running right here. All right, here we go.
Been some incredible stories. Stuff that is so incredible that it sounds mythical. And that's because it is. When an old tale or an exaggerated recollection of events takes hold within NBA fandom, it virtually becomes a matter of fact. But today we are going to find the truth behind some of these
About to ruin my
myths.
childhood, aren't you,
Now,
Jimmy?
Growing up,
Gonna ruin
years
my
ago,
childhood.
it was just a matter of fact that Larry Bird was the greatest three-point shooter of all time. We all knew it, and we'd all heard the stories from those who watched.
I heard he was a great shooter, but I don't know. I always thought Larry Bird. Obviously, I wasn't even alive yet when he was playing or nothing, but I always thought he just kind of like, I don't even know how to put it, man. But I wouldn't say like, I think maybe it was more like the efficiency thing or just like, I don't know.
The man play. I mean, the dude won 3 straight three-point contests, including one where he didn't even take his warm-up off.
Yeah, it's the effort,
Some
effortlessly.
fans will attest that Larry Bird is still one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. Most agreeing that he's top 3. Steph, Ray Allen, and Larry Bird.
Yeah, headband
But
Steph.
this, my friends, is a myth. For his time, Larry Bird was an excellent three-point shooter.
Right.
But fast forward 35 years, and there have been dozens and dozens of players who have surpassed Bird and his shooting. Check this out. Here's a chart of the best three-point shooters of all time. The further right a player is, the more efficient
look at Curry.
they were. And the higher up, the more threes
Yo, I really didn't even mean that like flight, bro. Like literally, look at Curry. Like look where he's at.
are made each game. All the way at the top is, of course, Stephen Curry on his own planet.
Buddy
And then you have
Hield.
Klay Thompson, Buddy Hield, Damian Lillard, James Harden. This list includes hundreds.
Yo, gotta
of
get
players
Buddy
since
Hield
the
off there,
three-point
though.
line was added to the NBA, and all the way down here is Larry
Oh
Bird.
goodness.
Now, of course, Bird played in an era where players shot far less threes, and for his time, he was one of the best long-range shooters. But times have changed. Drastically. Sure, if Bird played in today's league, he would practice shooting more threes, he'd play in a
He'd be
system
shooting
that
10 a
valued
game.
the three-pointer more, and he would have simply shot more threes. But Larry Bird doesn't play in today's league. And just based off the facts, there are countless players that are simply better three-point shooters than Bird was. Now, this next myth is one that has ran rampant over the last
JaVale
few
McGee.
years. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. Every offseason, NBA fans all over social media lose their minds over Instagram and Twitter videos of NBA players who've improved their game.
Drew League Johnson, man. Stanley Johnson, bro. I swear, every year this man is dropping 77 points in the damn Drew League game, bro. You always be hearing about it. Oh, I literally get sent to me every single day, just like, hey, Crispy, you see that? You see Stanley Johnson, that Drew League game? Yeah, I seen him, man.
Specifically, their shooting. Every summer, clips of NBA players not missing
Michael
a
Beasley
shot
known
or
for
going
it every
berserk in a
year,
training
at least one
session
time.
Go viral, and immediately fans believe these players have revolutionized their entire game. If I have to watch one more video,
Yo, what about
of
that
Ben
one
Simmons
rapper,
sinking
the one to
8
go to
straight
Detroit?
three-pointers in an empty gym, and then reading comments
Norris
about how he's
Cole.
got a three-point shot now, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Don't get me wrong, back when these offseason videos first began to surface a few years ago, some of these guys had me fooled. Andre Drummond's got his free throws down, some player added 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason and their game has completely transformed. Ben Simmons can now shoot the three ball.
I added 5 pounds of chicken nuggets in my freezer the other day. That's the only thing I added. Oh.
You want to know why Ben Simmons is drilling threes like he's Stephen Curry's long-lost brother in these offseason clips? Because he's in an empty gym with zero pressure and piss-poor defense.
I made 7 free throws in a row earlier, guys. By myself in the gym. 7 free throws in a row, bro. That's 100%, man.
Literally no defense on him at all. 99% of NBA players knock down damn near every shot they take in practice. They are all automatic in open runs against players you've never heard of. And time again, we are shown that these off-season clips do not translate to the NBA season. I think Lonzo Ball may be the only player in recent history to actually vastly improve his shot over the course of one offseason. We have got to stop taking these off-season clips so seriously. It's just practice. Every NBA
Talk
player
about
looks
practice.
like a god when they're getting open shots up. And no, Ben Simmons cannot shoot the three despite the 30-second shooting clinic he posted on his Instagram. Now,
Nor can I.
An NBA player is 6'7" tall, which is really, really tall. In fact, the average NBA player is taller than 99.99% of all males in the United States.
Wow, I am
that
screwed.
Means on average, if you gathered 1,000 random men, odds are only one of them will be as tall as the average NBA player. And knowing this, it kind of blows my mind when people say you don't need to be tall to play in the NBA. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a myth. Take me, for example.
Oh, here we go.
I'm 6'1", and being around basketball my entire life, I've never considered myself to be tall by any stretch of the imagination. But generally speaking, I'm still taller than about 93% of men within the United States. Now, out of the 590 players currently active in the NBA, take a wild guess at how many of them are my height or shorter. 40. There are 40 players,
and that's being a 6'1"
NBA that are 6'.
Like 6'1" is like low key. You could be like a solid like combo guard like Lou Williams. You'd be like a CP3. You know, Campasso on the Nuggets. Like JJ Barea. Did I say Spud Webb? Like you could be somebody like that. You know, if you're at 6'1".
6 feet 1 inches tall or shorter.
I guess Spud Webb was a 6'1" though.
Go from being taller than about 93% of men in the general population to taller than just 2% of players in the NBA. But it gets worse because the average height,
especially for me, because I'm 5'8", is feeling worse.
Which means that
no, that's not true.
Because the average height for a male in the US is 5'9".
No. I just checked this the other day. It's 5'8". It is 5'8". I checked. It is not 5'9". And if it is, I'm 5'8 3/4, so I'm pretty average anyway.
Which means that an average sized man would literally be the shortest player.
Hey, Campasso!
But he wouldn't be the shortest player in NBA
What a
history.
coincidence.
Of the 3,500 players to ever play a game in the modern NBA, only 11 of them were 5'9"
Earl
or
Boykins.
shorter. That's 0.3%. Less than half of 1% of all NBA
Show me Earl
players
Boykins.
since 1977 have been average in stature. Look at how minuscule Nate Robinson looks against most NBA players. The man is 5'9". This is what an average guy would look like in the NBA. As if the astronomical chances of making
Earl Boykins
weren't difficult enough. Not being tall makes this immense goal
Loved Earl Boykins, man.
So yes, you do need to be tall to play in the NBA. Well, either that or be an absolute anomaly of an athlete. You know, an athlete like Spud Webb or Nate Robinson or Michael Jordan. Except Michael Jordan wasn't only a freak athlete. He was also 6'6", a combination of attributes and physical gifts that eventually made him
Iverson was like 5'11" without shoes.
And decades after Jordan's retirement from the game, his legend continues to grow.
Like 6'3" at the rookie season pro, though.
In the finals throughout his career, but many say that if he didn't retire the first time in 1993, Michael and the Bulls would have won 8 straight championships. But this is a massive myth. You see, that's impossible, because Jordan did lose in the playoffs to the Orlando Magic. Not in the finals, not in the conference finals, but in the second round of the playoffs.
LeBron would never.
There's really no need to theorize if the Bulls would have won 8 straight titles, since we literally saw Michael and the Bulls lose right in the middle of their decade-long run. And I know what some of you are thinking. When Michael returned to the NBA in 1995, he wasn't in basketball shape, and he didn't have enough time to get reacclimated to playing basketball by the time the playoffs came around. And although there's some truth to this, I'd be more inclined to agree if MJ didn't average 31, 7, and 5 a game against Orlando in that series. In fact, MJ had better numbers in the playoffs right after his return in 1995 than he had in the following season after being back for a season and a half. People act like he was a shell of himself in his return, when in reality he was about 95% himself in those playoffs. The truth is, after losing Horace Grant in the 94 offseason, the Bulls struggled against teams with prolific big men. And when the Bulls met a prime Shaquille O'Neal and the Magic in the playoffs, this weakness was put on full display in a 6-game series. Even if the Bulls made it past Orlando, they would have had to go through the Knicks, who were just as deep in the front court. And eventually, they would have had to face the Rockets, who were the most complete team in the league that season, with one of the greatest big men of all time. Even if the Bulls had Michael in 94 and the entirety of the 95 season, they just did.
Y'all see that shot? That must have been at the buzzer, bro.
Even if the Bulls had Michael in
that shit had to have been at the buzzer, bro. Take that damn shot. Was that Horace Grant?
94 and the entirety of the 95 season, they just didn't have the roster to outmatch some of the other teams at the time. Not to mention that time and time again, we are shown that winning multiple championships in a row has massive effects on teams. Between injuries, contracts, and player retention, winning championships isn't as simple as just having the talent. The Warriors assembled the damn
Look at the Nets. Yo, the Nets were literally like 13-2 with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. We're never gonna never gonna see it ever again.
Seasons, and they still
never see it ever again, man.
Kobe and Shaq were the best duo in league history, but after three-peating, they just couldn't replicate the magic they once had. I'd even go as far as saying Michael Jordan retiring in '93 was the best thing he could have done for his legacy. By the time he came back, he was rejuvenated, he was motivated, and the Bulls have made the necessary offseason moves to make them the overwhelming favorite again.
And he gets the benefit of the doubt too, you know, like doing like people saying like just how much he could have won in a row and stuff like that, but that's just a what if factor because of, you know, skipping the time and stuff.
The next time you hear a crazy story or some stat that sounds too good to be true, it's probably because it isn't true. When a player reaches greatness, he becomes the man, the myth, and the legend. You just gotta know which is which.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the video. I mean, the fact that I thought was true at Smith is I thought I was average height. Still short as hell.